Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Next 10 days are critical. The Cubs will have 10 here at home. They trail the Cardinals by 8 as they welcome in the Nationals. Hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. 40 games left. It looks rather daunting, but let's look at the next week and a half for both the Cubs and the first-place Cardinals.
There's an overworked baseball cliche, Len. My favorite team is the Cubs or whoever plays the Cardinals, and that's certainly going to be the case the rest of the way for Cub fans. Cubs need to take care of their own business. You see they play the Nationals, the Mets, the Astros, and then the one-game makeup against the White Sox. Cardinals with a very similar schedule at home, so Cubs need a little help, but they need to take care of their own business first.
Yeah, that's absolutely the first priority, and they've done well against the Nationals. They caught them right as Jim Riggleman started his era as the Nationals manager, and the Cubs swept the series.
Well, there was a lot of uncertainty in Washington at the time. Mike Rizzo was the interim general manager. He's been named the full-time general manager. As you mentioned, Jim Riggleman took over for Manny Acta, and this ball club has played much better recently, although the Cubs beat him up pretty good earlier this season.
And the Nationals are playing pretty good baseball lately. They've been up and down, maybe down more than up the last few days, but 12-10 so far in August.
Well, they have an offense that can scare you. You need to make your pitches against this Nationals offense. Their pitching, on the other hand, makes a lot of mistakes, and the Cubs should be able to take advantage of that.
And the big story tonight, the Big Z is back, and this will be his first start since the first day of this month.
Well, obviously, we're not ever quite sure what to expect from Carlos under the best of circumstances, but after a stint on the disabled list, you see what he did in his last start at Florida. Of course, he had a start in Colorado that he was not able to make. He's probably going to throw around 80 to 85, maybe 90 pitches, and hopefully that'll be enough to get him deep in the game.
Right-hander Garrett Mock goes for the Nationals, coming off a loss, but has been pretty good in August. Well, the Cubs have very little margin for error. They need to pile up a bunch of wins on this homestand, and they will turn to their ace, Big Z, coming up next.
Blue Shield of Illinois, dedicated to giving you the security to experience wellness everywhere. And by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on.
Pretty warm temperatures here in Chicago. Wind blowing out. And we're set for game 1 of 10 on this homestand. 4 opponents, including the White Sox in a big makeup game on September 3rd before the Cubs hit the road again. And Carlos Zambrano back off the disabled list. The Cubs today optioning right-hander Esmailan Caridad to AAA to make room for Zambrano. Let's look in on the Washington Nationals Southwest starting lineup. They do score runs. They're ranked 6th in the league in runs, in fact, 2nd in on-base percentage. Willie Harris is in there for Niger Morgan. who is under the weather. That's a break for the Cubs. Morgan with big numbers against the Cubs this year. Guzman, Zimmerman, Dunn. You have Josh Willingham in left. Ronnie Belliard's had a good month of August. Elijah Dukes is in right. Will Nieves the catcher, and Garrett Mock does the pitching.
Take a look at the Cubs defensively tonight. Jake Fox in left field. Kosuke Fukudome over in center. Milton Bradley in right field. It's Ramirez, Terrio, Fontenot, and Lee across the infield. Giovanni Soto doing the catching tonight. For right-hander Carlos Zambrano returning to the rotation for a stint on the disabled list for a bulging disc in his back. See his numbers on the season. It's the first time in a long time the Cubs have had their entire rotation intact.
Tony Randazzo is from Chicago, so umpiring in his hometown this week. He attended Lake Park High School and went to Iowa Western Community College. Jerry Lane at third is the crew chief. Well, 40 to go and 24 will be here at home, so the schedule is advantageous, but you got to go out and do it. And Lou Piniella is very aware of that. The Cardinals tonight are home against Houston. Wandy Rodriguez and Adam Wainwright, a couple of starters with ERAs under 3. Should be a good one tonight. And Willie Harris swings and misses. We're underway. Zambrano has beaten the Nationals 5 straight times.
Well, and you mentioned the Cubs taking care of their own business. You know, you play the Washington Nationals, the worst team in the major leagues. They've got 81 losses on the season. They sit 29.5 games out of first place in their own division. But there's a lot of reasons to be scared of this team.
Bradley comes in, makes a catch, and Harris is retired.
Scared is probably not the right word. Respectful of this team. You mentioned offensively they can do some damage, and it's a good night to hit here at Wrigley Field. 77 degrees, the wind out of the southwest at 7. And that means it's blowing straight out to center field.
Well, they have been very streaky under interim manager Jim Riggleman, former Cubs manager. They've gone 18-20 under Jim. That's low and outside to Christian Guzman. We mentioned the Cubs swept them in a 4-game series to start the second half. That's when Riggleman took over. But shortly after that series, they got hot. They won 12 of 16. Then they cooled off. And lately they've dropped 6 of their last 7. The 1-1 to Guzman, and he hits it foul.
Well, the reason I say a team like the Nationals and other teams that are well out of any kind of contention for the postseason are dangerous at this time of year. Number one, they've got some veteran hitters in this lineup that are playing for pride right now, playing for their own personal numbers. You've got some other young players that are playing for a spot on this roster for next year. And you've got a new manager that all the players are trying to impress so that they will be included as part of the roster for next year. So a lot of reasons to be wary of this Nationals team.
We want to congratulate their new senior vice president, general manager, Mike Rizzo, who made the trip from Chicago. Named the permanent GM recently as Terrio throws and just gets Guzman at first base. Very close, but they called him out. Rob Drake on the call at first.
That was a lot closer than it appeared it was going to be. Terrio took that ball fairly shallow at shortstop and didn't waste much time in getting rid of it.
All-star third baseman Ryan Zimmerman.
It looked like he was safe with the naked eye. Our high-speed shutter cam showed that he probably beat the throw, and there's an angle that clearly shows that he beat the throw.
You're allowed to have a naked eye, so family show. Be careful. Well, it's hot tonight. I mean, 77, but the humidity makes it feel warmer than it is. But it sounds like it may cool off later in the week, maybe as early as tomorrow. Inside, 2-1 on Zimmerman, who already has a career high 26 home runs. The pitch. Tapper foul. Adam Dunn is on deck. He has 33 home runs. This will be Dunn's first game at Wrigley Field this season. Well, in the past, he'd play 9 or 10 games here with the Cincinnati Reds, and has always hit for good power in this ballpark. 3-2. It's full on Zimmerman. Carlos chomping on that gum. As always, the payoff pitch hit foul. Will do it again.
Hey, talk about Adam Dunn in this ballpark. Last year he was 6 for 29. That's a .207 batting average here at Wrigley, but 5 of his 6 hits left the yard.
Three career homers in 60 games at Wrigley. Another 3-2 to Zimmerman, and it's outside on what looked like a cutter. And Z already angry with himself. He'll have to face Dunn.
Now this has been an interesting matchup over the years as well. Adam Dunn, a .224 hitter against Big Z, 13 for 58. He's hit 7 home runs, but he's also struck out 14 times. And to go along with that, 16 walks.
He grounds it foul. Or strike one. Dunn was playing in the outfield, but then Nick Johnson got traded to Florida, and Dunn has moved to first base. I guess he's done just fine so far at first base. Only Albert Pujols has more home runs among active players against the Cubs. Put the big pull shift on against Dunn, who hits it foul into the upper deck.
Pull shift in the infield. Outfielders playing straight up and deep. Like a lot of big left-handed power hitters, Dunn pulls the ball on the ground, but when he hits it in the air, he hits it all over the ballpark.
The kick, the 1-2. And Dunn went according to Jerry Lane. Dunn not so sure. 2-out walk, no runs. The Cubs are coming up against righty Garrett Mock when we come back to Wrigley. Fukudome. Fox in for Soriano, who's a late scratch because of a sore knee. Soto, Fontenot, and Zambrano rounded out.
Take a look at the Nationals defensively. Statistically, the worst defensive team in the majors. 110 errors combined. Willingham, Harrison, Dukes across the outfield. Zimmerman and Guzman on the left side of the infield. Belliard and Dunn on the right side. Will Nieves doing the catching tonight. Right-hander Garrett Mock.
He's a rookie, 26 years old, and a strike to Ryan Theriot. Bob, I noticed when he joined their rotation right after the break, and the Cubs really knocked him around. He was bad early, but lately he's been a lot better.
His last 2 games started, he's pitched a total of 11 innings, given up only 9 hits and 2 runs. The key to him, I talked to Steve McCaddy, their pitching coach, before the ball game. Like a lot of pitchers, if he throws strikes, he's very effective. When he falls behind and gets into hitters' counts, that's when he becomes very hittable.
He's from Houston. As Belliard will go way out into the grass and have time to get it to Dunn for the out. I'll bring up Milton Bradley. He had one big game in San Diego on the trip, but otherwise was fairly quiet. 2 for 23. Including a hitless weekend at Los Angeles, but he's hit .297 this year here at home. And that gets past Zimmerman, seemed to handcuff him. He was hit basically right at him, just a little bit to his right, and he kind of tripped the other way to his left. That'll be a hit for Bradley.
Taylor, I played a little bit of third base, and when a ball comes off the bat of that left-handed hitter, your direction, it always has some kind of side English. Ball was hit very hard. Zimmerman kind of got his feet crossed up, and that ball just shot past him into left field for a base hit.
Zimmerman, one of the best defensive third basemen in the game today, but that fast shot got past him, and now it's Derek Lee with a man on and 1 out. Here's a pitch, just missed. Ball 1.
As a matter of fact, Len, when we last saw the Nationals in the nation's capital, Zimmerman was having all kinds of throwing issues down there at third base. Couldn't find an arm angle that he felt comfortable with. They're working on it on a daily basis down there at third base. And
Harrison right center with the grab for the second out. I guess he's worked very hard on his throws, and Jim Rickleman has them out there a lot before games. Pitchers fielding practice, defensive work, extra BP, whatever it takes. And he's been very vocal too. I guess early on he met with his team after every game to tell them what they did right, what they did wrong. This is a club that still has the worst record in the majors, and he has basically told them why.
Well, and that's how you go about correcting the problems that make you the worst team in Major League Baseball. Point out the mistakes, point out the things that you expect to see improvement if the team's going to get better.
Ramirez pops up, Dunn makes a catch, and that's a 7-pitch first inning for Garrett Mock. No score after 1 early on from Wrigley Field. Josh Willingham, the left fielder, 19 homers, taking ball one from Carlos Zambrano. As Bob mentioned in the open, 80 to 85, maybe 90 pitches tonight, depending on how he feels. Swing and a miss, 1-1. You go back to August 1st. Carlos left his start at Florida after 3 innings with back stiffness. Then his next start, he was scratched about 10 to 15 minutes before the game at Colorado with the back issue again, and then eventually went to the DL for the second time this season. First time was because of a hamstring strain, so he has not had arm trouble this season, but other parts of his body. And while on the DL, he commented about his abs, which has had everybody talking. Got to work on those abs. Did you do your crunches today before heading to the ballpark?
I crunched up a couple of candy bars before I drove in. Yeah.
That's not what I meant.
Oh.
I ask you about a six-pack, but I know what the answer, the smart aleck answer, is going to be about that. There's a base hit for Willingham.
Why have a six-pack when you can have a keg?
Well, time for the Radio Shack. What do you know? This is the third time the nickname Nationals has been associated with the Washington team. 1884, a couple of years after that. And now the former Expos becoming the Nationals. Other Washington teams were known as the Senators. Teams that turned into the Twins and the Rangers. Ronnie Belliard was trying to hit one into Evanston on that swing. Coming off a big series against his former team, the Milwaukee Brewers. 6 hits in that set, including a grand slam. Another base hit, about the same spot as Willingham's. They have 2 on with nobody out. Now, you're talking about Washington can be a dangerous team. I totally agree, Bob, because they can hit, they can score runs. And the thing we've noticed about the Cubs is when the offense has been cold, sometimes it hasn't really mattered who has faced them on the mound. So I think the Cubs are going to have to score a lot of runs to win this series. Elijah Dukes. It's a high chopper that Fontenot will get and barely get an out at second base. He got Belliard as Terrio beat him to second.
Somewhat risky play, but a good play if you can get that force out at second base, because now the double play still in order. Carlos could possibly get out of this inning without allowing the Nationals to score, but it's a very risky toss back across your body to Ryan Terrio, who was able to stay on the bag and get that force out at second.
Jim Riggleman out to chat it over with E.J. Rayburn.
You see Ryan Terrio as he came across the bag at second, really no thoughts whatsoever about throwing on to first. Elijah Dukes runs very well, so instead he immediately looked to third base to see if maybe Josh Willingham took too big of a turn around third and you might have a chance to throw behind the runner over there. So he right away looks to third base to see if they have a play across the diamond that direction.
Well, Ryan almost, and I don't think it was intentional, almost tagged Belliard because of where the throw was. A controversial play in Los Angeles on Sunday. Play at second base. Cubs benefited from the call and took advantage of it. Will Nieves, a catcher. With runners at the corners, the Cubs would like a double play chance to get out of the inning.
You mentioned no Niger Morgan, at least tonight, for the Washington Nationals, which is good news for the Cubs. He's done well against the Cubs, and 40 stolen bases on the season. You've got some decent speed in this Nationals lineup, but not a lot of base stealers.
Nieves splitting time with Josh Bard. Jesus Flores is on the disabled list. Runner goes from first, and it's hit foul. Flores with a right shoulder injury.
Riggleman pushing some buttons early here, a hit and run. That's a play I particularly like with runners at first and third and one out. The idea is to stay out of the double play if you're the offensive team, and one way to do that is start the runner and try to hit behind him.
Duke's not running this time, and the fastball is a little bit outside to make it 2-1.
2 out of 10 on the season for a guy with the speed of Elijah Dukes. That's really a surprising percentage.
Carlos made one rehab start. That was with Single A Peoria last Thursday. 5 shutout innings, 4 hits, 76 pitches, and a lot of strikes. 54 were for strikes. He'll throw to first. Duke's back on his feet.
You may have noticed Giovanni Soto shake his head 3 different times to have Zambrano shake his head out on the mound, and then called for a pickoff at first. I really like that play because a lot of base stealers, when they see a pitcher shaking his head, no, 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 they assume he's looking for a particular pitch that he wants to throw, and that eliminates the idea of a pickoff at first base. So you have the pitcher shake his head a couple or 3 times and then throw a pickoff over there. Some of those guys that try to take advantage and get any edge they can, you can pick them off.
Z has not really found his command yet. It's 3-1 on the Avis with the pitcher on deck. Small sample size, but Mock hasn't done a whole lot with the bat. 1 for 16 in his career. Swing and a miss. Davis was looking for a heater and didn't get it. Duke still not running on this 3-2. Up in the air. Fukudome will catch it and will not have a play on Josh Willingham. It's a sacrifice fly for Nieves, and it's 1-0 Washington.
Whatsoever to throw out Willingham at the plate.
Cutter for a strike on Mock.
You mentioned Big Z hasn't really quite found his release point yet, but when he gets his arm out in front, that sinker is really dipping today. A lot of downward movement. One right there at 91 miles an hour, started at the bottom of the strike zone, nearly ended up in the dirt.
Kick the 1-2 right down the middle. Strike 3. The Nationals strike first. Couple of singles, eventually a sacrifice fly, and it's 1-0 after an inning and a half. from the Bears game Saturday. Join Mark and Pat for Sports Night presented by Dex tonight at 10. Only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Did you know Winnipeg loves the Cubs?
Everybody loves the Cubs.
They used to love the Jets, but they don't exist anymore. So they love the Cubs now. Beautiful night. Summer's still here, at least for a while. Kosuke Fukudome will start the bottom of the second against Garrett Mock. Hits the first pitch hard, knocked down by Belliard. He can't pick it up on the second try. It should be a hit. And it is for Kosuke. Well, it was kind of like the Zimmerman play in a way. The ball hit near an infielder, but it really hard.
It really hit hard. That hop seemed to come up a lot higher than Belliard was expecting, able to knock it down with the heel of his glove. But that's one time that really small second baseman's glove hurts you when you go down to pick up a ball that you missed on the initial stab. There's not a lot of leather there, not a very big webbing to reach down and get that ball, and Belliard was not able to get it on the second grab.
Jake Fox went around. He's coming off his best career game in the majors Sunday at Los Angeles. A career best 4 for 4 with a homer and 2 RBIs. He was not in the original lineup, but Alfonso Soriano's knee's been barking lately, and it was barking again during BP. One and one. How about that? He leads all National League rookies in batting average. So we'll put him on the list. Rookie of the Year candidate, along with Randy Wells. Popped into short center. Belliard will get out there and make the play. Belliard has a lot of flair out there, but I think that catch, which was not, you know, his hands were low. I think the reason he did that is he was kind of checking out where Jake Fox was. Might have been thinking about dropping it on purpose. I don't know if he ever did. I guess he kind of took his eyes off it at the last second.
He was looking over that direction. I agree with you. I mean, Ronnie Belliard, he's got his faults in this game, and he's bouncing around from team to team. But for me, he's a very alert defender. He always knows where everybody is on the field, where the base runners are. Kosuke with a false start over there at first base got Will Nieves up out of the crouch that time.
Soto trying to heat up. 5 for 36 since coming off the DL. 1-1. The Nationals got Mock from the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2006. He was taken in the 3rd round by Arizona in 2004 out of the University of Houston. And you know what they called that year? The Diamondbacks? They called that the mock draft.
Okay. I'll give you that one. Don't do it again, though.
Okay. Hey, we had our first off day yesterday in a long time. Pitch in the dirt.
First time we've seen the curveball there from Garrett Mock. We've already seen the fastball. We've seen the slider. He's got a little bit of a straight changeup he'll throw from time to time, and a very rare over-the-top curveball. But it's not your typical big rolling 12-6 curve. He throws it extremely hard.
Two-two. And Gio is out in front. The Cubs took extra BP today. So Gio out there, Soriano and some others. Albert Pujols with an RBI double in the bottom of the first. I know they hand out the MVP and Cy Young, all that stuff really late. I think it's after the World Series. They can just hand Albert the MVP award right now. What a year. Ground ball to third. Zimmerman to Belliard to Dunn. Pretty easy double play. 5-4-3, and the Cubs are finished in the second. They trail early on 1-0. Light freeze camp. Sam Fuld with one of his many great catches in Los Angeles. The face plant.
Oh. It looked like he got hit in the face with a tennis racket.
It was on Saturday. See a little bit of the residual effects on the right cheekbone.
A teammate of mine made a similar play at Candlestick Park up against the chain link fence in right center field, and of course his nickname became Link ever thereafter.
Scrapes on his forehead. Battle scars. 1 and 2 on Harris. There was a spider on our camera. It's crawled off the lens. See, they're here every day. We're only here during game days. Got him. Called strike 3.
Hey fans, watch the Cubs take on the Nationals tomorrow at 7:05. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Cubs home cap, compliments of Pepsi and the Museum of Science and Industry.
Guzman came in at 306. He grounded out his first time. He looks at ball 1. I want to pass along our condolences to the family of Ray Kakamo, a great guy, huge Cubs fan who passed away on Sunday. And we want his wife Marcia to know we're thinking about her and their children during this very difficult time. Marcia, one of the flight attendants on the team charter flights, and we're going to miss Ray. He was an original bleacher bum, and again survived by Marcia, his wife of 38 years, his daughter Kelly, son-in-law John, son Matthew. Two down in the inning. It's Ryan Zimmerman. He walked his first time. Zimmerman had a 30-game hitting streak earlier this season. Caught the inside corner. Cubs are 8 back in the division. They're 7.5 out in the wild card because the Rockies pulled off an incredible win last night in extras. Game-ending grand slam in the 14th by Ryan Spilborghs to beat the Giants. Nationals go down in order for the first time. They lead the Cubs 1-0. The Cubs host the Nationals at 1:20. Throughout the game, great prizes will be awarded to lucky fans in random seats, compliments of Office Max. And the queen of her section is here.
As voted on by the other fans in the section.
Inside on Mike Fontenot. Got sucked into the Giants Rockies last night. Giants scored 3 in the 14th. They went 13 innings at Coors Field, 1-1. Giants scored 3. Figured that game was over. Belliard makes a basket catch to retire Fontenot. And then the Rockies got 5 in the bottom of the inning. Spilborghs came on, hit a grand slam into the bullpen out in right center to win it. So they lead the Giants by 4 games in the wild card. In the last 3 games of that series. Zambrano bats. Takes ball 1. Carlos has won 3 consecutive decisions. His last loss was on July 7th. Trying to help his own cause here, and he drills that one deep to left center. How about that? A home run for Zambrano. He ties the game with his 4th homer. That's his 20th career blast. Taking a little heat for taking some extra swings in BP. He cranked it out of here.
Thinking home run replay. Good contact from Big Z the opposite way. That ball hit hard to left center. We talked about the wind blowing straight out of here tonight. Certainly didn't hurt this one at all. Ties the ball game.
I mentioned this the other day. He did take BP before his start in Peoria, even though they used the DH there, but he was supposed to take batting practice to get ready for tonight.
Looks like it paid off.
Yeah, and it's a tricky situation because I can't sit here and criticize Carlos for trying to help himself and help the team by pitching in offensively. That's just wide of third. I think we would both agree that he's an excellent defender. He's good at keeping the other team from running. And he's a great athlete, but there's that fine line. And because of the back issues, I think some people have wondered. You know, and I've wondered too, should he be swinging as much in BP? I don't know where you fall in on that. Well, his number one job's to pitch. We know that. But look what he just did at the plate. And it's not like he has been terribly injury prone in his career. It's caught by Dukes and right.
I think the issue is when you get here to the ballpark, if you ever get a chance to get here early enough to see Carlos take batting practice, it's not like he's just working on his swing, trying to put the ball in play and spray it around the field. He's trying to hit the ball across the street.
And he normally does.
And he normally does. But, you know, is that really what you want? A batting practice home run show, or do you want your pitcher to go out there and put zeros on the board and give your team a chance to win? Certainly you like it when he hits the ball out of the ballpark from time to time to help himself offensively, but he's going to hurt himself trying to hit balls too far.
And I think that's a totally fair statement. He is not a guy who is going to help you by laying down a key sacrifice bunt. He definitely wants to hit home runs. Pulled into right, and it'll be in front of Dukes. Seemed to go back on that ball at first. And Bradley has 2 hits.
Dukes playing a very cautious right field here. Bradley puts on that low fastball and lines it into right field. It looked like if Dukes had come in a few steps initially, he might have had a play on that ball, but stayed back, played it on a big hop to make sure it didn't get past him.
It gives Derek an opportunity with a man on and 2 outs. Wind blowing straight out to center. Off the plate inside. I asked Derek on the last homestand. It was actually before the game that was rained out against the Pirates. I mean, it was really blowing out during batting practice. I said, do you change anything? He said, no. I said, do you change anything when the wind's blowing in? He said, nope. Trying to find a good pitch and hit it hard.
That's because he's a good hitter. Guys like me, if we saw the wind blowing out of Wrigley Field, we'd swing straight up. Get it up in the air somehow. It is tempting, especially for a visiting team, when you come in here to Wrigley Field on a night like this and you see those flags blowing straight out. And this is obviously a very cozy ballpark under any conditions, but when the wind is blowing out and you get up there in batting practice and hit one off the end of the bat and it goes 12 rows up in the bleachers in left center, I'll tell you, that catches your attention. Geez, I didn't hit that ball good and it got way out of here. Watch what happens now when I try to swing hard, and that's when guys get into problems.
Big swing and a miss, and that ends the inning. First strikeout for Mock. Carlos Zambrano's been dominating the headlines here the last few weeks, while on the DL, well, he comes back and tracks a home run, his 20th career home. Strike one to Adam Dunn. 1-1 through 3. Carlos Zambrano with a game-tying homer. His first at bat. Here's a guy who can certainly untie it with one swing. Everybody back in the infield and outfield. Pulled around to the right on the infield.
And not only shifting over to Adam Dunn's pull field, but you can clearly see Mike Fontenot way out in right field.
The pitch called strike 2-2.
You know, that's kind of evolved just over the last 5 or 6 years in the game. It wasn't unusual for teams to put a pull shift on for a big power hitter like Adam Dunn, but usually everybody stayed on the infield dirt, maybe one step back into the outfield grass. But now this has kind of become the norm, especially for guys that don't run particularly well. You give yourself a lot of range. You get out there in shallow right field. You just have to understand that's a lot longer throw than Mike Fontenot is accustomed to making from second base.
Playing surface fairly quick here. Swing and a miss. Dunn has struck out both times. I assume if Dunn does make contact, he will hit the ball hard. Now the Aflac trivia question. How many runs were scored, total runs, in the highest scoring game in Major League history? I'm going to go with 49. For some reason, 26-23 stands out. Didn't Texas score 30 last year in a game in Baltimore? It was like 30-3.
Well, if this is the Price is Right, I'll bet 1 run. Closest without going over.
Right.
I'm going to take a chance that you're over.
And the Nationals have the lead again as Josh Willingham just hit his 20th homer of the year out onto Waveland. Willingham had gone into a little bit of a slump after a very hot stretch during which he had 2 grand slams in one game. And he takes Zambrano completely out of the yard. It's only the second opponent to hit one onto Waveland this year.
Pitcher was supposed to be on the outside corner, tailed right back over the inner half of the plate. Oh, it was hit a long way. Took 2 relay throws to get it back onto the field from Waveland Avenue.
So they have 3 guys with at least 20 home runs: Zimmerman, Dunn, and Willingham. The 1-0 to Belliard. Topper toward third. He's running hard, and Ramirez is just going to let it die. Would not have had a play on Belliard, who's 2 for 2.
The old swinging bunt. Everybody playing back around the infield for the Cubs. Belliard took a full swing and could not have rolled that ball down the third baseline any better.
Elijah Dukes, who had some thumb soreness, did not play Sunday or Monday, back in the lineup tonight. He was brought up on August 1st after a month in the minors. And the thumb injury resulted from him working a little too hard in the batting cage, trying to get out of a slump. His manager says the real key for Dukes is to recognize breaking pitches, and that when he starts to do that consistently, he will turn the corner as a major league hitter. Drills that one fair into the left field corner. That was on a fastball. Belliard all the way to third, and he's going to be sent home by Pat Listash as Fontenot ended up letting go of the throw, and Zeal barehand. He'll throw to third. Safe. I think Aramis got him on the hand, but Jerry Lane said no. We'll get another look at it here in a second, but it looked like Ramirez caught Dukes on the hand as he was sliding into third base. That was not a pretty play.
Another mislocation on a fastball from Zambrano, and in the 2-0 count, Elijah Dukes cheating for that fastball, crushed it down into the left field corner for Jake Fox. Mike Fontenot, the trail cutoff man, was going to throw home, and then had second thoughts, tried to hold on to the ball and ended up spiking it into the middle of the infield. Zambrano with a nice athletic play to get to the ball. Yeah, it looks like he was out, yeah.
The only thing, though, Bob, I think he got him on the hand, but Dukes may have already had his foot on the bag. Hard to tell. Infield in with Nieves, and it's a suicide squeeze. He bunts through it, and Dukes is a dead duck. So Nieves could not make contact. Suicide squeeze. That's a play you talk about often. You just had a crazy double, an error, all kinds of craziness. Manager comes out, and they tried to sneak in a squeeze, and it didn't work.
Well, that's usually the best time to try a squeeze play, when there's been some kind of confusion on the field right before the pitch. As you mentioned, Lou had come out to argue, was just back into the dugout. You figure that's the time to do it before the manager has a chance to get comfortable over there.
As Nieves lines out to Fox and then whips his helmet down. He's not happy he couldn't execute, but they add a couple of runs. So Willingham with a homer, and then the RBI double by Dukes. It's 3-1. Dukes double, allowing him to move up a base, was charged to Mike Fontenot on the throw. Ramirez, Fukudome, and Fox against Garrett Mock. Been touched for one, and that was by the pitcher. Zambrano hit a home run in the third. Foul pop out of play.
I want to say hi to a big Cubs and Peoria Chiefs fan, Norma Maddox from Chillicothe, Illinois. Never misses a Cubs game on TV and gets to as many Chiefs games as she possibly can. We appreciate it, Norma.
The 0-2 pitch, a bouncer to third as Zimmerman backs up, backhands, and Dunn can't dig it out. Looked like Zimmerman wasn't quite sure what he wanted to do. In and back, and he knew he had to hurry. The throw was in the dirt, and Dunn couldn't handle it.
Yeah, that indecision whether to charge that ball and smother the short hop or back up and play the big hop cost him there. The off-balance throw across the diamond to a relatively inexperienced first baseman, Adam Dunn. That's a ball that we've seen Derek Lee pick out of the dirt a million times. At that point, he knows he's got to rush his throw. Probably didn't have a good feel for the seams on the baseball. That caused it to sink when he threw it to Adam Dunn.
The Nationals, by the way, with 111 errors, most in the majors. Cubs have made 81, third most in the National League. Look at the average, 74. That's low, 2-0 on Fukudome. Want to send out happy 93rd birthday wishes to Grace Believa in Springfield. Huge Cubs fan. We also want to tell Grace your grandson Nathan's doing a great job as a voice of the Peoria Chiefs, and Nathan telling us the Chiefs' magic number for a playoff spot is 4 with 13 games left.
They're leading 4-2 tonight against the Quad City Rivermen down at O'Brien Field in Peoria.
Marty Peavy named co-manager of the year in the Midwest League, and the season all-star team, postseason all-star team, Rebel Ridling, Josh Bitters, Kyler Burke, and Josh Harrison all made the list. Three and 1 the count on Fukudome. Make it 3-2. Also, happy birthday wishes to Laura Taccini. Watching the game tonight. See if the Cubs will send Ramirez. Fukudome with a pretty good eye at the plate. There are no outs. He is running. Swing and a miss, and Ramos will be thrown out. Worst case scenario for the Cubs in that spot. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. So Nieves may be feeling a little better about himself after not executing on the squeeze.
Sending those runners on a 3-2 count is not so much the guy's speed at first base. You're putting it on the batter to either take ball 4 if it's out of the zone or put the ball in play if it's in the strike zone. Ramirez got a late start at first, playing it like a hit and run. Didn't really run as hard as he could until he saw that the ball was past Fukudome and Nieves was about to make the throw.
This has been the most aesthetically pleasing game to watch in terms of defense and base running on both sides. And execution. A hit and run and a suicide squeeze botched. One by each team.
You talk about this Nationals defense and the number of errors they've made this season. I had a chance to talk to Mike Rizzo, their general manager, before the ball game, and he said that's going to be a major area of emphasis, not only for the rest of this year, but going into spring training next year. I mean, that's one fundamental, that if you can improve yourself defensively, it shows in your pitching stats, and that's very important for this young pitching staff that the Nationals have. We've mentioned they've struggled this year. But you wonder how many times it was because of defensive lapses that put them into some tough jams that they are not quite experienced enough to handle at this point of their career.
Well, pitching and defense go hand in hand, and I have to say their defense certainly hasn't helped the last rated staff in the majors in terms of ERA. Locke will throw out Fox. And a promising start to the inning ends with no runs. It's 3-1 Washington after 4. total runs scored in the highest scoring game in MLB history? I said 49. Bob says 1. Winning answer. What can't go over? Closest, but you can't go over.
Can't go over.
So anything less than 49 and you win. Oh, it was 49. On this date, 1922.
Playing by Price is Right rules. I'm
Yes.
sure Drew Carey would appreciate that.
Cubs 26, Phillies 23. That would have been the live ball era, I believe.
It was that day.
There you go. You're on TV. Happy birthday. Mock breaks his bat as he grounds out to Terrio. See Marquise Grissom, their first base coach. Pat Listash across the way, former Cubs minor league manager, over third. Both guys could steal bases.
And the Cubs Wives Food Drive presented by Meyer is this Saturday. Don't forget to bring non-perishable food items with you to the game. Fans that make a donation of 10 eligible items or $20 will receive a Cubs autograph photo. Limit 2 per person while supplies last. All proceeds benefit Lakeview Panther.
The 26-23 Cubs win back on this date, 1922. Game time 3:01. How long do you think a 26-23 game would take now?
Jeez, 5 hours.
That's a strike to Harris.
26-23, and there were probably at least a couple of players that went over. Those good team players. Take one for the team.
Yeah. As did Willie Harris. Unfortunately, your timing was impeccable on taking one for the team.
Slider. Not sure if it hit him on the front leg or the back leg. He tried to hopscotch over that pitch from Zambrano. Just chased him out of there. Looked like it hit him on that ankle guard on the front leg. Saved him a little bit right there.
I'm going to find that box score on retro sheet and find out how many offers there were.
I mentioned with no Nigel Morgan in this Nationals lineup, not a lot of speed, although Willie Harris over there first base is certainly capable of stealing a bag. 9 out of 11 on the season, especially after you've just been hit by a pitch.
Big swing and a miss. Nats lead the Cubs 3-1. First of a 3-game series and a 10-game 4-team homestand for the Cubs. Playing the 2 bottom teams in the Eastern Division this week, the Nationals and then the Mets, who got more bad news today. Johan Santana needs elbow surgery. He is out for the rest of the year, and they traded Billy Wagner to Boston. Outside.
A new ballpark in New York that the Mets play in. The naming rights should have been purchased by Morton Salt.
When it rains,
it pours.
It pours.
Boy,
yeah.
they've had some kind of year with injuries to keep people.
A flare, and Terrio can't get it. Perfectly placed by Guzman. Always hits for a good average in the 300s coming in, and he finds the holes. Harris all the way around to third.
Guzman, one of those pesky hitters that just gets the bat on the ball. Sometimes it's the handle, sometimes it's the end, sometimes it's the barrel. But he usually puts that ball in play somewhere. That time a little soft floater into center field. And we talked about Willie Harris' speed, able to go first to third easily on that one. A good double play candidate at the plate right here. Ryan Zimmerman, obviously a very, very good hitter, but takes him a while to get out of that batter's box. He hits a lot of hard ground balls. 18 double plays grounded into on the season.
Inside, 1-0 the count. 4th overall pick in the 2005 draft. Zimmerman came out of the University of Virginia. He was the first ever draft pick by the Washington Nationals. Grew up in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Breaks his bat. Well, I hope everybody's all right as he singles in Willie Harris. A barrel of the bat went flying into the stands. Boy, that is very, very dangerous. As he sawed him off, but he ends up with an RBI single. It's now 4-1.
Right in on his hands. You can see he just had about 4 or 5 inches of bat left as the barrel goes whirly-birding into the stands. Unfortunately, I think a fan got hit that time. That poor gentleman wasn't even looking toward the field when that ball caught him in the side of the face or the head. Ooh.
Larry Rothschild is out. This might be the last inning for Z. Next pitch will be number 80 on the night. We certainly hope that fan is okay. Good news is I do see him with his own hands on his head. That's good news.
Yeah, it looks like he's talking to the emergency people that are down there talking to him. He took a pretty good knock on the head, but he appears to be awake and talking to the various EMT people that are helping him out.
The kick, the pitch to Dunn, that's below the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Aaron Heilman up in the bullpen. Cubs adding a lefty to their pen tonight. Tom Gorzalowny with Z back in the starting rotation. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Well, he has fanned Dunn twice already. He needs another one here. They have the shift on, but with a runner at first and another at third, everybody on the infield dirt. Compton, Ontario can't play in the outfield grass. There's Tom Gorzalowny. The pitch inside.
Yeah, should Adam Dunn hit a ground ball to Mike Fontenot on the right side, it's going to create a very awkward double play attempt. Ryan Theriot is on the second base side of the bag out there in the middle of the infield. He would be the pivot guy on a ground ball to Fontenot, and that's an odd angle to approach the base.
Applause for the fan who was hit on his feet, smiling. That's great to see. Even though they're going to have to patch him up.
We warn fans all the time when you come out here to Wrigley Field, especially if you're in that lower bowl down there close to the action on the field. You got to not only watch the ball all the time, but he heads up for those broken bats that occasionally fly up in the stands.
Ball 4 to load him up. 4 straight batters reaching base. Second walk of the night. And it's Willingham who has already singled, homered, and scored twice. And Willingham has had Z's number. He's 7 for 12 lifetime. The home run was his first career homer against Carlos.
I mentioned the game earlier this season. Willingham with 2 grand slams in 1 ball game. He's 5 for 16 this season with the bases loaded.
2-0, and Willingham will not give in. He has a pretty keen idea of the strike zone. Two grannies and 8 RBIs on July 27th in Milwaukee. 13th player in Major League history to hit 2 in 1 game. Had a good rip at it, fouled it off. 2-1. They are loaded up. Guzman, the lead man, at third. Zimmerman is at second. Dunn's at first. Here's a pitch. 3-1. All important 3-1. Swing and a miss. Z pitching for his life tonight. Again, the pitch counts in an area where he could be out at any moment. 3-2. We'll do it again. Cubs have gotten excellent starting pitching over the past several days. Run scoring has continued to be an issue. And another 3-2. Another foul.
Willingham did Z a favor right there, chasing a pitch well up and out of the strike zone. You tell yourself as a hitter with 1 out and a runner at third base, get something up in the zone. That was up out of the zone.
The next payoff pitch, fouled again. Eight pitches already from Zambrano to Willingham. Nowhere to put him with the bases loaded. Now Willingham asks for time. Ball 4. And I think that's it. Lou's coming out. It's now 5-1.
Certainly a disappointing return by Carlos Zambrano tonight, but as hard as it is, you have to look big picture. Hopefully he'll come out of this none the worse for wear.
Heilman in. Base is still loaded, only one out. Nationals with two more here in the fifth. Last five have reached, and it's Ronnie Belliard against Aaron Heilman. Starts him with a slider for a strike. 57th appearance for Heilman. Pitch from the far first base side of the pitching rubber. That pitch was in, and Belliard was out in front, pulled it foul.
See what happened there, Len? Gave it to a kid.
We see that a lot. Which is always great. Corner men are in. Double play depth up the middle. And a 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three.
Kind of been the book on Ronnie Belliard throughout his career. Once you get ahead in the count, you don't really have to throw him a strike to get him out. He becomes a very aggressive swinger. If you leave a pitch in the strike zone, he's liable to hit it hard, but he's just as liable to swing at a bad pitch out of the zone once he gets to two strikes.
Dukes with an RBI double his last time up, and he cranks one deep to left, and that is a grand slam. His first career grand slam, and it's 9-1. 5 RBIs tonight for Elijah Dukes.
Carlos responsible for those 3 runners on base that scored ahead of the Elijah Dukes home run. Just a tailing fastball started for the outside corner, tailed right back over the middle of the plate. You could see the reaction of Aaron Heilman. He knew where that was headed as soon as it was struck at home plate by Dukes.
Yeah, broken it wide open. Outside on Nieves. Well, the line is going to look pretty hideous for Carlos. 8 runs in 4 1/3. As Fontenot throws out Nieves. And the fans letting the home team have it. It's 9-1 Washington. homestand. 9-1 Washington. As we mentioned, the pitching has been really good lately, but not so much tonight.
Yeah, Carlos looks like he had some signs of rust there. His command wasn't quite as good as we've seen it in the past. Struggled to find a release point on his off-speed pitches, and found himself in some of those hitters' counts where the Nationals could go up there and look fastball, and they didn't miss him.
No, they didn't. Couple of home runs tonight. Willingham in the fourth off Zambrano, and then Dukes against Heilman with a grand slam. So Mock would be even more aggressive going after the Cubs batters. Two and two on Soto. We've mentioned the schedule, a lot of home games, a lot of games against teams under 500. Soto strikes out. But the reality is, while the Cubs have played better against teams that are under 500, they haven't had a sustained stretch of a month this year where they have just, won 20 out of 30. And that's a big concern. So you're asking a team to kind of do what it hasn't really done all season long. And on top of that, hope the Cardinals come back to earth. That's a strike.
I think everybody in that third base dugout believes they're capable of that kind of run, but until you see it, it's just wishful thinking. We haven't seen it up to this point of the year, but you just keep hanging your hopes on the fact that at some point in the very near future they figure it out and start to bang the ball around the ballpark the way they did last season. Right now would be a good time to start.
Yep. A 1-1 to Fontenot. That's hit foul. Aaron Miles on deck for Aaron Heilman. I saw Reed Johnson today before the game, coming back from the broken foot. He still hasn't been able to jog without pain. He has been able to hit and throw, but it's still going to be a couple of weeks. Basically about the 4-week point. A couple of more weeks, he thinks, and hopefully he'll be ready to come back in early September. Foul. Pitching matchups for the rest of this series. Tomorrow night, right-hander J.D. Martin and right-hander Rich Harden. And then on Thursday, you have lefty John Lannon and right-hander Randy Wells. We'll have game 2 tomorrow night on Comcast Sportsnet at 7 o'clock. Banged up Mets come in Friday, then it's Houston next Monday through Wednesday in the makeup game against the White Sox before the Cubs go to New York and Pittsburgh. Full count, 3-2. So Sean Marshall will pitch the 6th. Ball 4, and Mock with his first walk of the night. This Friday is Apple Vacations and Dreams Resorts Day at Wrigley Field. The first 20,000 fans will get a scratch-off card with a chance to win a 7-night all-inclusive vacation November 15th through the 22nd. To the Dominican Republic with Ernie Banks, Aramis Ramirez, Sean Marshall, Carlos Marmol, and others, courtesy of Apple Vacations. Keep your card to be one of 3 second chance winners, because as Bob says, everyone deserves a second chance. That kicked off the foot, I believe, of the home plate umpire, Tony Randazzo, and helps Fontenot move up a base.
He was just a little slow reacting to that pitch on the inside part of the plate, clanked off the webbing of his glove. It did hit Tony Randazzo in the foot. That'll be a pass ball on Nieves.
Struggling Miles trying to come up with an RBI hit in the pinch. 2-0, and Nieves will go out and talk with his pitcher. Steve McCaddy's going to head out as well.
Say hello to Jerry and Vicky Hitchcock here from Woodbine, Georgia tonight. Also a happy 11th birthday to Kelly Mancuso.
Post-game live coming up from the ballpark after the game. It'll be Galen Todd and the pre and post-game producer Kevin Anderson. Got married recently, so we want to congratulate Kevin and his bride Jenny. And Bob, he told me when they got married on their wedding day, the Cubs were at first. So I don't know what happened. I hope their marriage has gone better than the Cubs since.
You really have to separate the two. Work hard on your marriage. You try to make things smooth at home. I hope the same thing happens on the ball field for your hometown Cubbies, but you really have to separate the two. You can't take it home with you.
3-0 on Miles. Terrio on deck. Here's a pitch taken all the way for strike one. Three and two. Put the whammy on Garrett Mock. Swing and the miss. Strike three.
Rears back and throws his best fastball up and out over the plate to Aaron Miles. Been a struggle for Aaron to get it going offensively.
Jacoby Ellsbury tonight with his 55th stolen base against the White Sox at Fenway Park. That's a new Red Sox single season record. 0-2 to Terrio. Tommy Harper at 54 back in 1973. Got him. Called strike three. 3 Ks in the inning as Fontenot gets stranded at second. All Nats in game one, 9-1. here on the north side as they slug it out with Adam Dunn and the Nationals. Don't miss the Cubs hosting the Nationals tomorrow night at 7. Right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Well, I guess rally cap time in the 6th, and the Cubs trailing by 8. First things first, Sean Marshall try to slow down a Washington offense that has played at 8 runs the last 2 innings combined. Garrett Mock looks at ball 1. Sean has a birthday coming up in 5 days. He'll turn 27 on August 30th. Two to Mock. Cardinals still lead the Astros 1-0 in the top of the 7th. Wandy Rodriguez and Adam Wainwright locked into a pretty good pitchers duel. Only 4 hits combined. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Hey, Cub fans want to throw out the first pitch at Wrigley, take some swings inside the Cubs batting cage, or play catch with a friend by the Ivy? Visit Cubs.com/MetLife to enter for your chance to win and see official rules. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Sweepstakes sponsor is Metropolitan Life Insurance Company. Or as they would read in the 30-second commercial, no purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Sweepstakes sponsor is Metropolitan Life Insurance Company. Something like that.
Did that well.
There are people out there who make a living by talking really fast. Harris breaks his bat as he grounds to Fontenot.
Talk about that Wandy Rodriguez, Adam Wainwright hookup in St. Louis tonight. Another good pitching matchup. Arizona, San Francisco tonight. Dan Herron against Matt Cain. Should be a good one. Although Dan Herron has not pitched well over his last 3 or 4 starts. But at least on paper, that looks like one you'd want to watch.
Yep. Sub a 3 ERA starters in that one. Marlins lead the Mets 2-1, bottom of the 8th in South Florida. Nelson Figueroa in for Johan Santana. Pitched all right. 2 runs, 1 earned in 5 innings. Sean West for the Marlins, 6 innings, only 1 run. Dodgers lead at Colorado 2-0. The Rockies went 14, which I'm sure the Dodgers loved. Used up their whole bullpen last night. They did get the win. It's a big series. Only a 3-game spread right now in the National League West. Dodgers lead early 2-0 in the 4th. Kershaw and Hamill doing battle in that one. Casey Blake with a home run for the Dodgers. Ground ball up the middle. Terrio will spin. And a perfect throw to Derek Lee. So Marshall gets him in order. Bottom 6. Washington 9. The Cubs 1. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Chicago Cubs and the only site with Fan Protect Guarantee. Check out StubHub at Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. Bradley, Lee, and Ramirez against Garrett Mock. He's put together a nice month of August. Came in 2-1 with a .257 and 4 August starts. This is his 8th start of the season. 0-2 the count. Just pitching out of the bullpen, went back to a AAA and got red hot. And then when he came back to the majors to start the second half, it was as a starter. Gave up 7 runs against the Cubs on July 19th. 4 were earned as he took the loss. Didn't get his first win as a starter this year until August 8th. He's won 2 of his last 3 and is leading tonight 9-1.
If this at bat to Milton Bradley is any indication, he's starting to get a real good feel for that breaking ball. Dropped 2 in there for a couple of strikes and then bounced 1 in the dirt trying to get Milton to chase. Goes up high with a fastball, which a lot of times is to set up the next breaking ball you're going to throw. Inside with a cutter just off the plate inside.
Ball 4, leadoff walk. Milton's been on all 3 times. If you missed some of the action, go to On Demand from Comcast, and you'll have access to Comcast Sportsnet Cubs games ready to watch on your schedule. To find out more, call 1-888-4-BEST-TV. Eddie Vedder is going to sing the stretch tonight. Lead singer of Pearl Jam. A couple of blistering shows, I guess, this weekend. Unfortunately, I missed them. But everyone I've talked to says they were just unbelievable. And on the hands, it hit foul. 0-2 to Lee.
We've had several instances this year, Len, as we've traveled around and guys are playing in or near their hometown, and we talk about what a special feeling that is. Lots of friends and family. I wonder if Eddie Vedder felt the same thing playing here in his hometown the last couple of days. I would imagine they get a little more jacked up for a concert in front of the home folk.
Plus he gets to come here to Wrigley Field. Starting to think he and Glenn Beckert are like best friends. Beck is here. I saw him over in the radio booth earlier, and we had as part of our rain delay coverage recently the piece on the Randy Hundley fantasy camp. Eddie Vedder showed up this year as Lee strikes out. He was talking about how he would call Glenn Beckert and he would forget. I guess he called Eddie or something. He didn't know which Eddie it was.
Right. Well, he just had Eddie on his speed dial and thought he had called the other one. He kept calling Eddie Vedder. What do you want?
Where are you? I'm in Seattle. Seattle? Who is this? Well, Mock's got his strikeout pitch working. His first strikeout was in the 3rd. And Ramirez lines it deep to left. Off the wall, just below the basket, and well played by Josh Willingham to not only keep Bradley at 3rd, keep him from scoring, but to keep Ramirez from a double. You cannot play a ball off the wall better than Josh Willingham just did.
Got himself in a good position and played that carom exactly the way he had to. That ball came right to his glove on his left hip, turned around, fired back to the infield, and that is big to keep Ramirez at first because ground ball double play and the Cubs don't score a run.
I think Mike Quade in a different spot in terms of the score might have sent Milton Bradley, but didn't want to take a chance and have a guy get thrown out at the plate, trailing by 8 runs. Belliard can't make a throw. I think he thought, you know what, if I throw it, I'm going to throw it away. So it'll be a hit for Fukudome. He knocks in Bradley, and it's 9-2.
Ronnie Belliard covers a lot of ground on that right side, goes out into shallow right field here. Just can't get his body under control enough to make an accurate throw. I think you're absolutely right. He thought the best choice right there was just to hang on to the ball, keep runners at first and second, rather than throw it away and put a couple more guys into scoring position.
And no, not to overthink it too much, but I'm sure the veteran Belliard is realizing, hey, with a 7-run lead, the last thing we want to have happen is an error to just open it up.
And I think that's been a major emphasis of Jim Riggleman since he took over. You know, not only use your athletic tools, your arms, your legs, use your mind a little bit, use your brain. Think of situation before the ball is hit to you and then do the right thing. And that time the right thing for Belliard was just to hang on to that baseball and not compound the play with a throwing error. You hear players talk all the time about trying to do too much, trying to make the miracle play. Well, there's a reason it's a miracle play, because it doesn't happen very often. Just make the routine plays and use your head on the rest of it.
Jake Fox takes ball 1. The kick, the 1-0. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. 1-1. Clippard is a righty. Burnett the lefty. Fastball that time. Over the last 10 games, the Cubs have scored 3 runs or fewer 8 times. Up in the air, Harris camped underneath, and he puts it away. As Ramirez will tag easily. We're at the corners with 2 outs for Soto.
It tells you how badly Jim Riggleman would like to win this first game of the series. The fact he's got double-barreled activity in the bullpen with a 7-run lead in the ball game. And normally, if you were up by 7 runs, pick the next pitcher you want to come into the ball game, and that would be the one guy warming up down there in that Nationals bullpen. But he's got a righty and a lefty.
By the way, Jim is back here at Wrigley Field for the first time as a big league manager since he managed the Cubs. Last year was 1999. Deep to left for Soto. Willingham's back on it. Up against the vines, can't make the play. 2 runs are going to score, and Soto has a 2-run double. Willingham went very hard as he backed into the wall. It's now 9-4. The Cubs trying to inch their way back into this game.
Like a hanging breaking ball to Giovanni Soto. Stayed right there in the middle of the plate for him. Just didn't quite get enough elevation to get it out of here, but gets it above the glove of Josh Willingham, and he did hit those bricks hard.
You have the lefty Fontenot coming up, but Riggleman's going to go with the righty Tyler Clippard in this spot. 2 outs, runner at second. So Mock not happy with himself, but he has a chance for a win. It's Alexis Call to the record. But under Jim Riggleman, since the break, a 3.66 and a 9-4 record. So they've been a lot better here in the second half. Tyler Clippard to Mike Fontenot. Guzman going out, still backpedaling, makes a catch. So Clippard throws 1 pitch to get out of the inning. The Cubs get 3. We'll head to the 7th. It's 9-4 Nationals. This is from Todd Hollinsworth, and check in on Lou Pinella's post-game remarks. Don't miss Lowe's Cubs post-game live immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Sean Marshall worked a 1-2-3 6th inning. This is Ryan Zimmerman to start the 7th. Got a nice email from Dylan Ehlers from Sublette, Illinois. Said he had the opportunity to meet Rich Harden and Sean Marshall as they visited the kids at Shriners today. Dylan said they're really nice guys. Next time you see them, tell them thanks for making my day. They signed a Cubs hat, a baseball, got a picture with him. Very nice to hear. Cubs partnering with the Chicago Public Schools for their annual Back to School campaign. Carlos Zambrano and Milton Bradley taped PSAs, which will be used as part of the campaign during this upcoming school year. Cubs wives will have their food drive on Saturday, 7th annual, here at Wrigley Field, prior to and during the game at 3:10 against the Mets. Make sure you come on out, and it has raised more than 68,000 pounds of food since 2003. The 2-2 Zimmerman turns on it. That's a fair ball into the corner and left. And it's a leadoff double. And on September 2nd, joint chairman of the ball, Giovanni Soto, and his teammates at Harry Carey's downtown for the 2nd annual Rooters Ball. Fans will have the chance to get up close and personal with Gio, with Aramis Ramirez, Alfonso Soriano, Ernie Banks, and more. Enjoy dinner and drinks, photos with the players, and bid on one-of-a-kind auction items. Tickets are $100. All the proceeds will benefit Chicago Cubs charities. Tickets can be purchased at westsiderooters.com or by calling 312-828-0966. Oufwa.
Oufwa.
Curveball strike on Adam Dunn.
It's the sound you would make if you were sitting on a couch and Adam Dunn mistakenly sat on your lap. Oufwa. The big boy up there at the plate.
Inside. 2-1. Another good curve. 2-2.
Crest Hill, Illinois represented here tonight. Tom and Carol Bjorklund wanted to say hi to all their friends.
Brad Hopp with a game-tying 2-run homer in the 4th inning. They're now in the 5th. Dodgers and Rockies 2-2. Called strike 3. 3 Ks for Dunn. Two for Marshall.
A good late break on this breaking ball. Looks like it's going to stay off the plate inside. At the last minute, it dives bomb down there around the knees on the inside corner. Dunn thought that ball stayed inside, but his opinion doesn't really matter.
Outside on Willingham, who has singled, homered, and walked with the bases loaded. He has scored 3 times. Phillies got 2 in the top of the 9th at Pittsburgh. They lead 4-3 in the bottom of the 9th. Francisco tied it with a double, and then Shane Victorino played at Francisco with a triple. So Brad Lidge is on. Final in Florida, Marlins 2, Mets 1. Up the middle, Marshall can't flag it down. It glances off the glove of Fontenot, and that will allow Zimmerman to score. as Willingham is 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs.
Got by Sean Marshall in a hurry, hit that hard dirt out in front of home plate and shot past the Cubs left-hander. Fontenot with an effort to keep that ball on the infield. The diving attempt just hit off the heel of his glove into center field.
Belliard rips it into left. Willingham's going to try to take that extra base, and Fox kind of overran the ball, and now Belliard advances 1-2. So a single for Belliard and an error on Fox.
Jake has handled just about everything hit his way, whether it be a third base, right field, left field, but he misplays this one. Gets over there in good shape, just didn't get his glove all the way down to the grass. The ball hit the tip of his pocket of his glove and stayed right there on the ground, allowing 2 Nationals runners to advance an extra base.
Well, Dukes, who's had the big blast, a grand slam in the 5th. They're going to intentionally walk him with first base open. He's driven in 5 tonight. And he'll pitch to the catcher Nieves instead. There's ball 4. Time for the BMW ultimate drive of the game. This one seemed to put the game out of reach against Aaron Heilman.
Elijah Dukes taking advantage of a mistake fastball from Heilman that stayed over the inside part of the plate. Also got it up in that wind that continues to blow straight out of here at Wrigley tonight.
Who's going to double switch? Baker's going to replace Fontenot, going to that 9 spot. Angel Guzman's going to come on to pitch. So it's 10-4. Time for the Lexus call to the pin. We'll be back in a moment. Ticket stubs will win a free set of tires, compliments of Discount Tire Company, America's largest tire store since 1950. So the bases are loaded again for the Nationals. Jeff Baker in to play second at bat 9. And Angel Guzman's had some road bumps here. Gave up the big grand slam to Russell Martin in that Dodgers series. He faces Will Nieves. Fastball missed. The Avis held up.
Now recently, it looks like Angel stuff has just flattened out a little bit. Normally, that two-seam fastball will sink down and into the right-handed hitters. A lot of them stayed up over the plate. That devastating cutter that he throws at 91 or 92 miles an hour has flattened out a little bit, and unfortunately stays in the strike zone too long.
Base hit to right, and they're going to get 2 more. So Nieves has knocked in 3, and it's 12-4.
Jumping out over the plate, belt high, outer half. Davis just slaps it into right field for a base hit. Somebody needs to stop the bleeding here.
Clippard will take the at bat. He hits a double play ball. 6-4-3. Eddie Vedder coming up with a 7th inning stretch.
Off of the ball game is Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder.
All right, I think we can do this. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. Oh, I don't care if I ever get back for his root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get 10.
Here's Jeff Baker to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Bob and I are just disappointed we missed your shows here in town. We heard they were unbelievable. And Bob actually mentioned this on the air, and I'll let you ask the question, Bob.
Yeah, you know, we travel around with the Cubs, and we go to a city where a guy maybe was born and raised, or he's got a lot of friends and family, and they always seem to get a little more jacked up to play, whether it's Atlanta or Cincinnati or L.A. You get a little more jacked up to play here at home?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Well, and then again, the only reason we come here is so I can come to this field right here. So it's you're singing for your supper. You notice that's why we might never play Wrigley Field, because that means the team's going to be away. So we might that might not ever happen.
Right. You got to time it where maybe you play a show and then the next day the Cubs come home or something.
After they clean up the empty beer and sure. Guitar picks.
Glenn Beckert's here. Is he here with you? Because we had the fantasy camp speech that you gave about Mr. Beckert not knowing when Eddie calls necessarily who it is.
Yeah, he came. Bruno, we call him. Which when the movie came out, I wasn't sure if he had lost his reputation there. Or that's what Jose Cardinal calls him, anyways. And, no, Randy Huntley and Glenn Beckert came to the gig, I think Sunday night, and it's a real honor to play for those guys because they played for me for so long.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Be able to come full circle. The 3-2 pitch to Baker is popped up into right, and Dukes went out, now has to come in, and he will get there in time to make the catch. Well, let me ask you this. I mean, are you still in awe of anything? I mean, I think some people are surprised to know that a big star like you can maybe be speechless at times.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm in awe watching you guys do this. I don't think people see what goes on up here with the scorecards. Right. And it's not like you're getting information from other people that you're actually, this is as intensive, this is a art form.
You're very kind. I hope we have that on tape.
Yeah, please.
No, I will stand by that. I'm committed to that statement. It's really special.
Well, Eddie, you've given us so
many. You make it look easy.
You've given us so many great songs over the years, and I'm happy to say that we've given you something. You're a big fan, as Belliard makes a catch, of the 4-colored pen that we happen to use, and you said your daughter wanted one of these, so there you go.
Yeah, well, I've been looking for one, but now I don't know if I'm going to let her use it because this came from Len Casper. This might have to be my own personal one.
We'll send you more.
Okay.
We'll send you more. Yeah, so the new record's coming out on September 20th, right?
Yeah, but I didn't come here to talk about that.
I know, but we want to give you the opportunity.
Yeah, there's a record coming out, and it's good.
I'm sure it
is. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. 1-0 on Milton Bradley. That's off the corner. How long are you in town?
We leave tomorrow for San Francisco. This is my big night out. I didn't go out this whole tour, even in Europe, Berlin. We call it going from the courthouse to the jail, or from the jail to the courthouse to the jail. Between hotels and venues, that was it. This is the only time I've been out. This is my big night, and it's a beautiful night. I wish the score was opposite, but they might turn it around.
Well, anything's possible. It has not gone well here lately, and after tonight, 39 left. Just trying to see if somebody can cool off the Cardinals as well.
It's tough because you could do a lot in the next couple 3 weeks with who you're going to face, but I guess you have to hope there's a hole in the Cardinals' metal armor.
You sang a song about the Cubs, and I think part of being a Cubs fan is always having that hope.
Yeah, and that all came out. Ernie Banks asked me to do it.
Deep to center. Harris is back, and it's going to be a home run into the juniper bushes for Milton Bradley. So it's now 12-5 as Bradley hits his 10th of the year, and he's a perfect 3 for 3 tonight. Maybe helped just a little bit by the wind that's blowing straight out.
Our Heineken home run replay, the 10th of the year for Milton Bradley. Got a fastball out over the plate and down a little bit, right where he likes it. He rode it out of here to straightaway center field.
Now Derek Lee, 0 for 3. Well, Bob's got a good movie for you to see, right, Bob? You just saw Play It Loud? Is that what it's called?
It Might Get Loud.
It Might Get Loud.
Jack White from the White Stripes and Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin and The Edge from U2. Yeah. It's a great documentary. If you're a fan of guitar heroes, that's about as good as it gets.
So it's poignant, too, because for anybody who knows, we just lost Les Paul, who was No, he invented the Les Paul and the electric guitar, but the 4-track, the multi-track recording.
Two strikes on Lee. Well, playing music, I'm sure, is a total blast for you. But well, my son's a young musician. We have a lot of young musicians out there who watch Cub games. What would be your one piece of advice to all the up-and-coming musicians out there? It's a lot of hard work, isn't it? You don't just show up and play the gigs.
You know, I guess the one thing as a songwriter would be when the song comes, or any kind of sliver of an idea comes, grab it. Stop everything and grab it, because it's not going to stick around. Or the one line, you won't remember it the same in an hour. You know, like, you know, try to write it the second it comes and follow it through.
Derek Lee into the left field corner. Is it hard for you to turn your brain off in terms of things that pop into your head? I mean, at any moment it can happen, right?
Well, I think I could write a song about that last double there.
Sure you could.
Good to see the Cubs bats coming alive a little bit here.
I gotta go. I gotta write it. Can I borrow some paper?
Of course. Have whatever you want. There's Ramirez. Well, 2-out rally. Eddie Vedder in the booth with us. Bradley with a home run. And Lee with the double. I think Eddie's writing a song, Bob. I feel very honored right now. There's 4-color pen. You know, a lot of the great songs in music history have been written in the bottom of the 7th during a Cubs game. Sorry. Little did you know.
Oh, it's a great tradition.
Drinking the water. 2 strikes on Ramirez. Good block by the catcher, Nieves. Bob, if only you had brought your guitar.
Yeah, I tend to get a little shy around real musicians. I'll bang out some power chords with you around, but
all right. Ramirez pops it up over on the left side. Zimmerman and Guzman are there. All right, Eddie, as we go to break, what do you got for us here?
Oh, do you really? No, I'll let you read it.
Okay. Can I read it? Lee hitting in the green.
D. Lee hitting in the green, biggest comeback that I ever seen. I feel it coming, and if it don't, I might lose hope, but I know I won't.
Eddie Vedder, the best. We'll be back.
Thanks.
Rapid rewind. Carlos Zambrano tying the game back in the 3rd inning. With his 4th homer of the year, Josh Willingham gave the Nationals a lead again in the 4th with a solo blast. He's had a big night at the plate. And later a grand slam from Elijah Dukes. And his left-hander Tom Gorzolani comes in to pitch in relief for the first time as a Cub. It's 12-5 Nationals. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Lefty against lefty. Willie Harris takes a strike. Fouled off. Well, I'm going to save this stats pack from August 25th, 2009 forever. Eddie Vedder writing the lyrics.
That's pretty nice. Turn that into a hit. You never know.
He did that in like 40 seconds. It's amazing. Outside. There it is. He did it in green ink. I think it's appropriate. Three and 2 the count on Harris. It's bounced foul. You know, I mean, a lot of people come in the booth, and we have a lot of huge Cub fans who have become very famous in other fields. And Eddie is certainly one of them, but it is so genuine. I mean, they have a new album coming out in September, and he really didn't want to talk about it. He wanted to talk Cubs. It's good stuff.
And of course, we get an opportunity to see Eddie down on the field before the ball game, and it's not unlike you know, taking a 10-year-old little leaguer down in that Cubs dugout. He is wide-eyed, and as he said, he's in awe of the guys down there in uniform, and especially the old timers. Loves to spend time with Ron.
That's deep to right. Bradley on the track. Nice catch right in front of the 368. Bradley's had a good night. His team trails by 7, but he's been perfect at the plate. And that was a nice play.
That ball didn't seem to get as much assistance from the wind as some of the others we've seen hit tonight, but Bradley tracked it all the way, never took his eye off that ball. He can feel that warning track under his feet. He knows he's getting close to the wall, but has just enough room to make the catch and cushion himself against the ivy.
Swing and the miss on a breaking ball to Guzman, who bats right-handed for the 2nd time. Faced the lefty Marshall back in the 6th, and now Gorzolani here in the 8th. It's a final. Albert Pujols knocked in the winning run in the 1st inning for the Cardinals tonight.
And we anticipated that was going to be a pitcher's duel. Wainwright against Wandy Rodriguez tonight, and it didn't disappoint.
Was it ever? Wainwright now 15 and 7. Called strike 3 for the 2nd out. If If you're traveling and can't watch your Cubs on TV, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv. It's the ultimate baseball experience, featuring 100 out-of-market games per week, live on your computer, and catch those you missed on demand. For more details, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. Ryan Zimmerman, certainly the cornerstone of the Nationals franchise. And Bob, I know you talked to Mike Rizzo, their general manager, about Steven Strasburg, a right-hander, fireballer, #1 overall pick, who signed just before the deadline. Was introduced over the weekend in D.C. to a lot of fanfare, and got a record $15.1 million.
Well, you talk to anybody around baseball that has seen Strasburg pitch at all over the past couple of years, and they would probably tell you that he's worth every bit of that. Of course, he has to do it as a professional on a regular basis, and most people are pretty confident that he will. Mike Rizzo said they're going to bring him along slowly. He's going to pitch in the Arizona Fall League this year, so get his feet wet, facing some of the best competition, some of the best young prospects in the game down in Arizona this fall. He'll go to big league camp next spring. The plan for now is to start him in the minor leagues next year for the regular season, and then just play it by ear after that. There was a lot of speculation that perhaps Strasburg would sign and immediately go into the rotation for the Nationals, which in my humble opinion is a pretty good way to ruin a guy quickly.
A 2-out walk to Zimmerman. Here's done. Well, the Nationals will probably get the #1 pick again this year. They're currently last in the major league standings. Pulled into right through the shift. Almost hit Zimmerman.
Almost threw Zimmerman. Showed you that exaggerated shift the Cubs have used with Adam Dunn at the plate. Zimmerman has to back up to get out of the way. Derek Lee, I think, might have lost sight of that ball as Zimmerman got in front of him. Has no chance for a play anyway. That ball hit like a rocket into right field.
Well, Brad Lidge blew his 9th save of the year, gave up 3 runs, did not record an out in the bottom of the 9th at PNC Park. The Pirates came back and won it 6-4. It's like an Andrew McCutchen 2-run homer finished it. So the Phillies, who are way up in their division, they still have to have some concerns about their closer. Josh Willingham's had a night. Man. That is a 3-run bomb. He has knocked in at least 1 run in each of his last 4 plate appearances. 6 RBIs tonight, and it's 15-5.
He just has not missed mistakes, and that definitely was a mistake. Just a middle zone fastball right there. No movement at all. Squared it up pretty good. Man. Well, we said this Nationals offense is a very dangerous ball club. They swing the bats. They're at a point of the season right now where they have absolutely nothing to lose. They're playing for their own stats and for a job next year, and have come out here tonight swinging the bats with a vengeance.
Another ball hit hard, but Fox is going to catch it, and that'll end the inning. As Belliard lines out. 15 for the Nationals tonight. They lead by 10 to the bottom of the 8th. 16-5 Nationals. As Saul Rivera takes over on the mound. A bunch of changes for the Nationals. Jorge Padilla's in left. Alberto Gonzalez at second. And Belliard moves to first. So Willingham and Dunn are done. We want to welcome those viewers who watch the White Sox and Red Sox tonight. Boston winning 6-3 at Fenway Park. Bob Brenly, Len Casper, and our Comcast Sportsnet crew from Wrigley Field. All Nationals tonight as Fukudome is going to reach on an error by Guzman, his 16th of the year.
About as routine a play as you'll get for a shortstop. This hits off the end of the glove, drops right in front of Guzman. That's an error, just a lack of focus and concentration right there. Maybe getting a little bit ahead of himself, trying to get his body into position to make the throw before he caught the ground ball.
Jake Fox low for ball one. Kevin Gregg up in the pen for the 9th inning. Jake take a couple of swings like that. Kind of the oop, didn't mean to do that. 1-2.
Especially on pitches from the middle of the plate in that are moving further in, either the hard sinker or occasionally a changeup that strays on that inside part of the plate and moves further inside, kind of ties him up.
Foul tip, strike 3.
Not exactly what the Cubs were hoping for to open this 10-game homestand.
Strike on Soto.
And the thing you really hate about it, Len, is because the Nationals have struggled so much this year, it's the kind of ball club, if you put a whipping on them the first game of the series, there's a good chance you might sweep the series. But if you allow them to come out here and not only get their legs underneath them, but stomp on your neck in the first game the way they have tonight, all of a sudden, they play over their heads a little bit. I mean, they've got very little left to play for other than personal gratification and a job next year, but an opportunity to keep the Cubs from reaching the playoffs would be high on their list of things to do right now.
Well, quite honestly, they have to be excited about the first part of this trip. They know they're going to be playing in front of big crowds here and in St. Louis this weekend before they head off to San Diego. Swing and a miss. So Soto fans. Carlos Zambrano tonight 4 1/3. He was charged with 8 runs. 3 of them came after he was taken out of the game. The grand slam came off Aaron Heilman. That is a season high in runs allowed for Zambrano. One strike on Sam Fuld. One of the few bright spots the last couple of weeks for the Cubs in terms of his defense. first weekend at Dodger Stadium of his career, and he robbed Manny Ramirez of a home run. That was Friday. The next day, that was the second of two very nice catches out and left. Little Aaron Rowand action. Face first into the wall.
I heard Jake Fox talking earlier today on a radio interview, and he was asked about Sam Fulton. And Sam and Jake have played pretty much everywhere together throughout the minor leagues. They've been on that shuttle up and down between AAA and the big leagues. And Jake Fox just flat out said he's the best defensive outfielder I've ever seen.
It's a ground ball that's gobbled up by Belliard, who steps on first, and the leadoff error ends up meaning nothing because Fukudome stranded at first. 15-5, Washington to the ninth.
But be sure to get here early. The first 10,000 fans will receive an exclusive limited edition Billy Williams bobblehead doll, compliments of Fannie Mae.
Kevin Gregg on for the 60th time this year. No longer the Cubs closer. Carlos Marmol taking over a week ago. Kevin getting an inning of work tonight. Pitch to Dukes is low and away. One scoreless inning in LA after the blown save 8 nights ago at San Diego. All of his blown saves, by the way, have been on the road. Kevin has pitched a lot better here at Wrigley Field. He has a .283 at home and a .597 on the road. Same amount of innings. Big difference, Bob. 8 homers on the road, 4 here at home. That's well, the biggest problem for Kevin is keeping the ball in the park. He walks Dukes to start the inning.
And there have been times this year that Kevin Gregg has really had a lot of problems commanding his breaking ball, and if he's not getting that one over, he becomes a one-pitch pitcher. Other times he's made some mistakes with his fastball up in the zone that have hurt him, resulting in long balls. Just hasn't really had a long stretch of the season where he was really locked in with both his fastball and his slider. Some days one was there, but not the other one.
Up the middle, backhanded by Baker. Nice glove-to-glove play. Oh, and a double play. 4-6-3. Baker teaming up with Terrio as they turn a nifty one.
Those middle infielders cheat just a little bit closer to second base in a possible double play situation. That gave Baker the range he needed to get over there and make that backhanded play. And nice leather to leather flip to get the force at second, and Terrio with a strong throw to complete the double play.
Alberto Gonzalez with his first at bat came into play second base in the 8th. He grounds to Ramirez, pops a mitt and fires across. Leadoff walk, no runs. Scoreless ninth for Greg. Bottom 9, 15-5 Nationals. Since they made the move south from Montreal. They lead 15-5 as Rivera pitched a scoreless 8th. Will try to do the same here in the 9th. Working from the stretch with nobody on, and Jeff Baker 0 for 1 came in the 7th. 1 ball, no strikes. Still blowing straight out to center, but the Nationals have took better advantage of it than the Cubs have tonight.
Cubs have had a couple of hard hit balls toward the outfield, but unfortunately didn't have enough elevation to get them out of here when we really needed it.
Big game at Yankee Stadium. Rangers 10, Yankees 6. They're in the bottom of the 9th as Baker lifts one deep, and this baby will go back of the bleachers, and it bounces out onto Waveland. 15-6. And the Cubs have hit 3 of them. They've all been solos tonight.
You know, Len, we talked a lot about the Nationals and why they're a dangerous team. A lot of guys playing for a spot on the roster next year, and I think the same thing can be said for Jeff Baker. He has really opened up some eyes, trying his best to shed that utility player label that was laid on him up in Colorado. His 3rd home run since coming over to the Cubs. Over 320 as a member of the Chicago Cubs, over 280 on the season overall.
25th career homer, his 100th career RBI.
Fastball down and out over the plate. Our Heineken home run replay. We just talked about the Cubs not being able to get the kind of elevation they need to take advantage of that wind. Well, Jeff Baker did.
Terrio grounds. Zimmerman lets it go to Guzman, who throws out Ryan. Terrio 0 for 5 tonight. Here comes Bradley for the 5th time. 3 hits, 2 singles, a homer, a walk, and has scored twice. I bet you Texas leading 10-6 at New York. It was 10-5 going to the bottom of the 9th. The Yankees have scored and have the bases loaded with no outs. Keep you posted. Inside corner. Tampa Bay beat the Blue Jays. They're on that Johnny Cash trip. You see Joe Madden dyed his hair black for their road trip, and they won tonight 7-3.
You hear the train a coming.
The Ring of Fire trip, I guess is what they're calling it, to Toronto and Detroit. Had a whiteout trip. Everybody wore white. They wore the Western clothes when they went to Colorado. Cowboy up was the theme. Everyone wore all black on their way to Toronto.
Just a way to kind of break the monotony and the routine.
This would be the time of year to do it.
Yep.
Foul tip, strike 2, 2-2. They're in the bottom of the 12th in Atlanta. The Padres just took the lead in the top of the 12th. David Eckstein, the go-ahead RBI double. 3-2 on Bradley. Cincinnati leads at Milwaukee 6-1 in the bottom of the 9th. Bronson Arroyo was good tonight. 7 innings, only 1 run. All the way to the left. Orioles and Twins 6-6 in the 8th. Felix P.A. has been pretty good lately. He's 1 for 3 with a double and a run tonight for the Orioles. Floated into center and a base hit. That's 4 for 4 for Bradley.
Good to see him get that left side of the plate going a little bit. It's been a struggle most of the season, but Milton's put together a pretty good string of at-bats from the left side of the plate. Soft liner into center for the 4th knock of the evening. He also had a base on balls. He scored twice. He's been the busiest Cub offensively, no doubt about it.
Second 4-hit game this year. He's going to take second without a throw, called strike on Lee. No stolen base credited.
In a ball game like this, the middle infielders for the Nationals would probably prefer that Milton Bradley go ahead and take second base. They weren't holding him at first, so he's getting an enormous leadoff over there. And should Derek Lee hit a ground ball somewhere in the infield, he's going to be right on top of that pivot man on a possible double play. They would rather have him go ahead and steal second base. Nobody likes to get flipped out there at second base, especially not in a 9-run ball game.
Pop fly, shallow center. Willie Harris, 2 outs. Last chance now. It's Ramirez. Another good pitching matchup out on the West Coast tonight. Jared Washburn and John Lackey. Tigers and Angels, 2 first-place teams. Howie Kendrick with a 3-run homer in the 2nd inning. They're now in the 3rd. 3-1 Angels. Detroit won last night. And where's Waldo? I guess there he is.
It took us till the bottom of the 9th to find him.
All that matters is that we found him. He's a little warm in that outfit.
I would guess so.
It's sticky out here tonight. Oh, Waldo was taller. Picture book makes him look tall.
Yeah. They say the television makes everybody look shorter and a little chunkier than they really are.
Base hit right field. Bradley's going to be stopped. Again, would have been sent in a different situation. And a few fans are booing, but I think if they think about it for 5 seconds, they'll realize Mike Quade did the right thing. I think Mike Quade is going to take a chance in having the final out of the game be at home plate with a team down by 9 runs.
No.
It's a no-brainer.
I mean, that measuring stick that we always talk about, does the runner get to third base before the outfielder picks up the ball, or does the outfielder pick up the ball first? Well, there's no question. Milton got to third base before Dukes picked up the baseball in right field, but you have to be 110% sure that runner could score without a play at the plate.
Fukudome pops it up. This will do it as Guzman makes a catch. And this is not how the Cubs wanted to start a critical 10-game stay here at Wrigley Field. They get blasted by the Nationals. The final score tonight, the Nationals 15, the Cubs 6. And the Cubs have relied very heavily on their starting pitching here lately. They've been in a lot of games, even though they haven't won a ton, but was not Carlos Zambrano's night in his return from the DL. First start in 3.5 weeks, and he gave up a season-high 8 runs in under 5 innings.
Well, and once again, Cubs got to find a way to score some more runs. This is a beat-up Washington Nationals pitching staff coming in there to Wrigley Field for this series, and I think everybody, the Cubs included, thought this was going to be a chance for their offense to get on track a little bit, start to score a few more runs, but the Nationals were the offense that brought the big bats tonight.
So that's going to do it for our game coverage. Stay tuned, though. Post-game live is coming up. Final score tonight, the Nationals 15, the Cubs 6. We'll be right back here tomorrow night. Martin and Harden, the pitchers.